Good morning, everyone. It's my honor and privilege to welcome all of you here today to commemorate the demolition of the current IBC building to make way for a brand new facility that will better serve our customers here in Guthrie. I'm Ethan Kiefer and I am the branch manager here at IBC Bank in Guthrie. With me today are some fellow branch employees over there, some members of the IBC Oklahoma Board of Directors, the Guthrie Chamber of Commerce, City of Guthrie, and the Historical Preservation Commission. As you can see behind me, we have already evacuated the current IBC building and are now operating behind the fence in a new temporary building in an effort to continue service to the great citizens of Guthrie. Construction will begin on the brand new state-of-the-art building soon and be ready to open in the spring of 2013. In addition to offering IBC's full range of deposit and loan products for the retail and business customers, IBC's new building will feature a spacious conference room that's open to the community for use, 3 motor bank drive-through lanes, and a drive-up ATM. To honor the rich history of the bank and the City of Guthrie, we have consulted the Historic Preservation Commission to make sure that we have accomplished a look that complements our historic location. We're also bringing with us historic pieces from the bank that date back to 1906 that will be on display at the new building for customers and visitors during business hours. It is truly an honor to serve the community of Guthrie, and we're excited to continue to do more for our customers at our new location. And now it is my pleasure to introduce a familiar face to all Oklahomans. We are proud to have this former governor serve on our board of directors, where he brings his leadership and experience to help us better serve the customer base across our state. Please help me in welcoming Governor George Nye.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here. I want to point out a couple of things. First of all, the original building, that's where we are now, the original bank building here was in 1906, before statehood, and so that was just before my first term as Lieutenant Governor. And it's great to be back in Guthrie, and I'm to have 2 of my fellow board members here. I want you to just turn and Gib Gibson, would you hold your hand up? Gib Gibson from Lawton on the board, and Bill Schonecker from Tulsa, would you please? And we're so pleased, and I'm pleased to be here, and I was talking to somebody about when's the last time you were at Guthrie, or how many times you ever been to Guthrie? And I was reminiscing with several of you about, I came to the fair here, I came to the 89er parade, I rode down this street with Gene Autry, if you can imagine that. That was before he was in movies. And we had a great time talking about the history of Guthrie. Just think in terms of that this was before statehood, so that means in territorial days, the land run, just think of Oklahoma history, the land run, the first territorial legislature, Masonic Temple, where the legislature met, where the Constitution was written, right here, just a few blocks from where we're standing. And you come down Division Street and the land run, and you just think about the history of Logan County, and you think about the history of Guthrie. And how pleased we are that IBC Bank can be not only a part of the history, having been here in 1906 as another bank, but now IBC. But more important than the past history, we want to talk about also the future history of Guthrie. And IBC is a very proud member and partner with the historical folks of Logan County and Guthrie to try to preserve the history, but actually prepare and go into the future. As a former Oklahoma history teacher, I always used to tell my kids, it's great to be excited about the past, but what you really want to be excited about is the future. So while we want to remember, like IBC, we do more, that's important because as we do more, we have to change things, but you only want to change what needs to be changed, but you want to keep what you need to keep. And the history and the love of this state needs to stay here in Guthrie, and that's why IBC wanted to make sure that we honor the heritage and tradition of this great community. Now just think, I want to read this note, you're just one of 52 locations statewide. And we have either built or remodeled of those 52 locations, 37 of them in Oklahoma of IBC Bank. And we have what we call the IBC look. And we're trying to make sure that when people see IBC, they see the same look regardless of which of the 57 locations where we're located. But we made special concerns. We addressed the concerns and wanted to make sure that we honored the Guthrie look, the historical look, the memorabilia that we're going to have here. And there's great history of this great city, but the future of this great state. And so IBC's We Do More really means we want to preserve the past, but we want to go into the future. And where we're standing today, we're investing over $2 million here in Guthrie to build you a new location. So I think the great summary that we should have is what they used to call on a program yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And if you look up here at IBC, a lot of people don't know what IBC means. It's the International Bank of Commerce, international. Have you ever thought from a territorial capital, we would be talking about international? And so today, the world has changed, but IBC wants to do more, keep the history, but look to the future of Guthrie and Oklahoma. Thank you.
And now we are pleased to have the Honorable Chuck Bircher, who will say a few words on behalf of the city.
Well, I was hoping I would speak right after our facilitator here, because I was going to say I agree exactly with what he just said. But it's always great to follow a great governor that I've had such a tremendous amount of respect for so many years. You know, Guthrie, another thing that I'd like to do to get it out of the way is thank you for this Chamber of Commerce today, Mary. Because any other day this would be over on Noble Street when I laid it down. So as the wind comes sweeping down Guthrie. The great history of this bank in Guthrie is just phenomenal. This bank has been a legend to drive by and know that they care this much for this wonderful community. You know, when you think back into the history, you think of the kid that walks into the bank for the first time to buy that first car. You know, who's ever been that scared before in your life? You know, you just know that banker's going to eat you up, you know. But when you're able to walk in to a bank that's the face of this community and know that they're in it for you, they've serviced your parents, your grandparents. What a great history. And it's just phenomenal to be able to walk down these streets. You know, I used to say when I first become mayor that sometimes I would sit in my car before I went into the council meetings and I thought I could hear wagons rolling down the streets of Guthrie, the clippity-clop of horses in a new state with a new capital that is just excited about everything that we are. And I sat through an article for 60 Minutes the other day, and a gentleman was talking about Pennsylvania and where the Constitution was designed. And he said you can still walk the streets and hear a new nation being born, and that's what Guthrie's about. Not only have we survived, we're doing well. Our tax revenues are up, and all of those things means that this community is going to thrive and do great things. And I am so very proud of the growth of IBC Bank and the wonderful things that they're going to do for this community. I couldn't be prouder. It's not right for me to holler, so I won't. I'm just proud of what you guys are doing. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Mayor. We're happy that you share in the excitement. And now, please help me welcoming the President and CEO of the Guthrie Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Mary Kaufman.
Well, thanks for having me here today. You know, IBC had a choice. They simply could have demolished this old building and replaced it with a new facility. But instead of demolition, which is tearing down of buildings and other structures, they chose to deconstruct the building, which involves taking a building apart while carefully preserving valuable elements for reuse. We played a part in that, preserving the valuable elements several weeks ago. We contacted numerous nonprofits who were able to come in and take a lot of these contents out of the old building for reuse, thanks to the generosity of the IBC employees and IBC Bank. Construction is a process of building or assembling an infrastructure. For a project to be successful, effective planning is essential. There are a lot of planning that goes into a project like this. Design and construction engineers, project, construction managers, along with project architects all play a key part in developing the plans of the unique new building. Thanks to IBC's thoughtful planning, the new building will incorporate much of the history of Guthrie. The new architecture of this building will fit perfectly with our old structures, which date as far back as 1889. I don't really have the words to express our thanks to IBC, their board of directors, for making this happen. I want to congratulate them, and we look forward to your investment in the citizens of Guthrie. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Coffin. And now I'd like to invite Governor Nye, Dr. Gibson, Mr. Bill Schoenecker from IBC, as well as Mayor Bircher and Ms. Coffin to join me for the unveiling, the rendering of the new IBC building, and the breaking of the pavement to symbolize the beginning of the demolition of the current building and the construction of the new building.